Hello guys and girls, it is Saturday evening. Apologies for the driving noise, but I've left it a little bit late to go to the old cinema bobs. As you can see from the title, you're going with me to see The Substance. I've been hearing about this for a long time. Well, no. I've been hearing about this long enough that I want to bloody see it, so we shall see. Shock horror. I've watched one review by one lady that said that everything the movie does and tries to do, it then contradicts, but then everyone else I know has said it's amazing. We're gonna see. I'm preparing to be amazed in the last act. Oh, Rashad didn't like the last act. I haven't heard anyone not have an opinion about this or say, well, it was alright. It's just got such a lot of reactions. I am desperate to see it. All I know is that Demi Moore's in it. She is a fitness instructor. She's getting on a bit in years. She wants to appear more younger or more beautiful, so she takes a substance, and it's a body horror, and that's as much as I know. And I'm looking out for somebody putting on a pair of earrings that's apparently very funny, Jimmy. So, without further ado, let's switch you off. Let's do our usual little bit of twaddly music, and then I'll come back and let you know what I thought of The Substance. Right guys, okay, I'm aware it's not the best lighting, but I'm going to do this before I get home because I'll not be able to talk about it at home because Darren doesn't like to know anything about movies. I have to let that one just stay with me a little bit. Let me put myself back a little bit. There's lots of cars in the car park and I don't know why, because I was like the last person out of the cinema, apart from a few staff members. That was batshit crazy. The last, I don't know, 15-20 minutes I actually loved. It was so ridiculous. I didn't think I would get an opportunity to laugh in that movie, but I did. Yes, Jamie the Earrings was one of those moments. It was a really good movie. It was really different. The body horror was incredible. Demi Moore was amazing in that. I think the other girl's called Margaret Walley. Is that right? She was good, but not a patch on Demi Moore. I'll be honest, I think Demi Moore's more attractive, but there you go. Now, basic premise, I never do this, but I always forget to give you a premise. Everybody and their uncle's watching this. It's about Demi Moore is like one of those TV fitness gurus, absolutely stunningly beautiful. I don't know why she would have an issue with herself, but the world, how it is, basically when a woman hits a certain age, like over 50, you cease to exist. I shall look forward to that. I already cease to exist. You're not attractive, you don't have any worth. And the TV executive, or I think he's a TV executive, is played by Dennis Quaid, who plays a really good role, but he's hateful, he is repugnant, he is vile. And the way they filmed him eating and the close-ups, and at the beginning he goes for a wee, is so disgusting. It's like, oh, you want a boke. And he wants a younger woman in Demi Moore's place, and Demi Moore's very aware. She's in the toilets, she overhears a conversation. She's very aware that the world's moving on, she's getting too old, and she gets this opportunity to take something called The Substance, and that will give her a way of being her younger, better self. I won't say anything more than that. But obviously, you know, it's a body horror movie. Things are going to happen she maybe didn't expect. There are going to be implications she didn't expect. Shit's going to kick off. She's maybe not going to be aware of what she asked for. It very much is a movie about the evils of... My car's alive. It very much is a movie about the evils of obsession with beauty and appearance and youth. And I really appreciate that, and the ridiculousness and absurdity of the ending of it just capped all that off. The only thing I have a bit of an issue with, And I have to sit on this a while because I may be completely wrong, but as a woman and as a woman of advancing years, I'm not fucking ancient, but we're not young anymore. The movie was really having a pop at sleazy slimeball guys. And I'm not saying you're all sleazy slimeballs, I'm just saying like these older TV exec types and their cronies that he was even called Harvey. I mean, if you couldn't have a good dig, that are obsessed with women purely based on an appearance thing, that don't seem to like women. There's a lot of these guys about these days that they're everywhere. They're all over YouTube and Facebook. They just don't seem to like women. And all they ever do is complain about women and make jokes about women. And the only interest they have in women is how they look. As a woman, that's how I see it. Obviously, not all men are like that. Loads of men are awesome. But I see a lot of sexism and basically men that are just obsessed with how a woman looks and nothing else. And like I say, fundamentally at the crux of it, they don't seem to like women very much, but they'll always be there to perv at the next 20-something actress, you know, that sort of thing. And they're usually men that are a bit older as well. And that movie's really good at singling out those blokes and pointing a finger at those blokes and making them look as repugnant as they actually are. The way it's filmed is very clever. Demi Moore is so beautiful. I can't get how she would look at herself and see anything other than perfection. I think she is stunning, absolutely stunning. I think that was done on purpose. They're taking a woman of advancing years that is absolutely beautiful and showing the world, yep, even a woman like this is going to be made feel this way about herself due to Hollywood, due to the perceptions of women, due to the pressure on women about appearance. And that seems to be all that matters if you're a woman. How young you are, how fat you are, how thin you are, how attractive you are. You know, it's all about your appearance. Now, I love all that and I thought it was fabulous. I thought she was great. I thought the way they put different characters across was great. I loved it all. Neighbour, they had him like ready to kick off at one point because he thought Demi Moore was making a load of noise. Demi Moore, I mean, he would have loved in any other life to be shagging Demi Moore, let's be honest. But he's banging on the door ready to kick off because he thinks she's making noise doing DIY. And when this young woman comes to the door, completely changes his tune. And again, it's putting across this kind of person and their attitude. And I'm really hoping, I know a lot of men love this movie, I'm really hoping it's reflecting back to men the kind of shit that a lot of women have to deal with in life when you don't look a certain way, when you're not a certain age, how your worth changes. And as a woman, you find that. I find the way I'm treated from when I was 18 and very slim to how I'm treated now in my 40s and not very slim, very, very different. How men act towards you is very different. Actually, how society in general acts towards you is very different. And I'm loving that they're getting that across. And I'm loving that so many men are loving this. And I hope for the right reasons. I heard one negative review about this and it was from a woman. And that's the only issue I have with this, is something that I will echo that she said. In a movie that's trying so hard to be about the shallowness of beauty and trying to turn that on its head, we spend an awful lot of time looking at women's asses and boobs. Now, women's asses and boobs are very beautiful things. And I didn't understand, this isn't a spoiler, but if you haven't seen it, you'll not know what I mean here. But when something's happening in the movie that's a major plot point, why did they always have to be naked? Why do these characters have to spend so much of this movie nude if we're trying to do a thing about the irony of beauty standards and the fakeness and the shallowness? Why are the women naked everywhere? There's a show in this at the end and the audience have got kids in and the women are on stage with their tits and arses out, and I'm thinking like, I'm conflicted. I'm being torn in two different directions. I'm thinking I love the messaging. I love what you're doing with this. I love that you're trying to get this point across. I think Demi Moore's fucking kick-ass. But do I want to see up Margaret Wally's fucking crotch and arse one more time? Not really. I mean, even to address the balance, even if they put blokes in that role, if they kept doing that with men, I'd be like, you're fucking missing the point, guys. I don't want to see Henry Cavill's backside. We're using Henry Cavill because, well, I wonder why. But, I don't know, that conflicts me a bit. We did need to see Demi Moore looking in the mirror at her body and, you know, that way she felt, and a bit later in the movie where she loses confidence, where she's going to go do something, but she's looking in the mirror at herself and she's comparing herself to younger women. And I feel that in my fucking soul, and I thought that was all fabulous. But they just sexualize, like, so I think it was Jamie Powell actually said, it's like a movie version of that video. You know that Keep Fit video that came out to like a song, da 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 na 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 na, is it Calling Me? And the women were all like hip thrusting in their leotards, or as Richie and Eddie would say, from bottom at the back, firming up. It was like a movie version of that, just up women's arses and crotches and boobs and all sorts. And I kind of torn. You know what I mean? Do you get? I don't want to be a complete killjoy. That sort of like, I don't know. That's why I think I need a bit longer to let it gestate, because I think overall I really, really liked it. I liked what they did. I just thought that they went a little bit overboard with the woman needing to be naked for the entire film. And I think as someone that relates very much to someone of Demi Moore's age and has all those same insecurities, I think it kind of detracts from the message of what the film was trying to say. But who am I? So that is what I thought of The Substance, guys. Would I recommend you go see it? Absolutely. It's a fantastic body horror. Would I suggest you go see it if you're queasy, or if you don't like a lot of nudity? No, I know a lot of women, and I'm not one of them, get very uncomfortable at a lot of female nudity, especially perfect female nudity. It makes them feel a bit self-conscious and a bit awkward and a bit embarrassed. It's maybe not a first date movie, but for a real horror fan that likes something, wants to see something a bit different, that appreciates body horror, that's not easily shocked, yes, I would appreciate it, or yes, I would recommend it massively. I think you'll appreciate it a lot more if you look at the underlying message rather than just sit and ogle at women's arses and tits for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But yeah, it's probably well worth it to do that too. Who am I to say otherwise? I'm gonna go. I just thought I would add that because I just wanted, it's a longer waffle than I'd usually do, but I wanted to add a slightly different perspective to it, and given that most of the reviews I've seen for this movie have been male, I wanted to give a kind of different perspective as a female that is a little bit older as to how I felt about the messaging in the movie. So I hope that made sense, guys. I hope I didn't come across as bitter old woman bitching about young fit women, because it's not that way at all. I just feel, was the message a little bit conflicting, that's all. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know below what you thought of The Substance. I definitely think it's going to be one of those that will become a cult classic that people are more so going to appreciate than not appreciate from the horror community, that your casual film goer is going to say, what the fuck am I, what's this, what am I watching, what's going on? Boy Racers is what's going on at the minute. So I'm gonna go, guys, and I shall speak to you all later. I'm glad I went to see it, but fuck me. Yeah, earrings, Jamie, earrings. Over a night, Bromley still lives.